little presentation to recognize Eileen and her accomplishments at our school. This has very much an educational-based theme, but we certainly want to make sure that others have an opportunity to share stories maybe beyond education as it relates to Eileen. Those could include many things, and you will have an opportunity to do that if you wish here in a few minutes. My apologies on my voice. It's been a long week. Maybe I feel a little bit like a pastor who's been preaching for a really long time, Pastor Paul. You know, day after day, and I apologize for my voice. If it squeaks, I know for sure one thing is that Mrs. Zigerlicki will definitely revise and edit how well I did or didn't do in this presentation. So, with that being said, we have a little program.
Oh no.
Do you have your paper and pencils? If you don't, be prepared to take notes. Mrs. Zigerlicki, this program is to recognize you. It is a parody.
Oh.
Let's define parody. A parody is an imitation of a style of a particular type from a writer, an artist, or genre with deliberate exaggeration for comic effect. Am I right about that, Mrs. Zigerlicki?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So this small little program will have a little bit of parody to it. However, there is also some othering components to it. Now, you know what othering means, right, Mrs. Zigerlicki?
No, I know it's not.
Okay. So you got to it's a word that means another word. Yeah. Comic. It might not be very funny, Zig. So with that, what we know is that Eileen is out of this world. She does an exceptional good job, and she is up in the stars with her work. So with that being said, we have a couple of little parodies, the first of which will be a presentation of a sash. Now, this is much like a variety show roast from the old 70s days, if you remember those. All right? And the stars of this variety show roast are none other than Carol Burnett and Sherry Journey and Marilyn Ripplinger.
Where's the other one? Right up here. Oh, right there. Hello. So Sherry and I just put together a little roast. We thought we couldn't pass up the opportunity to our dear friend. So we'd like to start this special day with just sharing a few stories. But before you just need to know, we are really good friends with Eileen. So
we think we still will be after this.
yeah, we do.
So we are here today to celebrate an awesome career for a well-loved and respected friend that we call Zig. What can we say about Zig? Well, there are so many stories that do come to mind, and here are just a few we would like to share with all of you. Students often comment how they're terrible at English when they come to community. They think they'll never pass. Maybe graduation isn't even in their thought. We all know that Zig magically turns their thinking around. We often wonder, how does she do this? I mean, what's her secret? She's such a superstar.
That's right. And well, let me shed some light on this. Zig's always been in charge of helping prepare for graduate speeches in the past. And I remember last year at the conclusion of rehearsal, and the speakers needed to do a practice run. Well, in my brain, I'm thinking this is a one and done kind of thing, and Eileen's gonna, hey, tell them a few things, right? Oh no, I thought we'd be out of there in a flash, but that wasn't happening. It was more like a redo until you do it right. And which could mean 3, 4, or 5 times. Louder, slower, enunciate were the words that Eileen would continue to share with the students. So seriously,
Well, seriously, my enunciation. Zig has played a vital role in many activities, projects, and ideas at Community High. She really is the idea generator for sure. Her suggestions of ideas are often brought up in staff meetings, conversations, inside and outside of school. Eileen usually has a plan or suggestion of how we can implement some new crazy idea.
but one thing we've learned is that these are not just ideas or suggestions. If you simply agree that they're good ideas, beware, because you're in it for the long haul. And away she goes with implementing the plan. Also, if you've ever worked on anything with Zig, you know she is committed. She is committed to getting things done. Her heart is in every project, and she thinks of her students first, always. Sorry, my hair's in my face. Her motivation is high.
But, oh yeah, like that summer that she had surgery, she couldn't walk. She couldn't move off her chair. But she scheduled time for me to come over and work on a project for the upcoming school year. It's just a little thought. For sure she was on some kind of narcotic medication. A few of her ideas were a bit out there. Believe me, it's not the only time it's happened. But her idea couldn't wait. Or what about the time, Marilyn, that we were planning for our reality check event?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Zig asked us to come down to our classroom. And she just said, we're gonna make some plans.
We're gonna do some brainstorming.
Watch out for that word. Divide up tasks. Ask other teachers to contact some community members. Before you know it, I looked up from what I was writing. Zig is on her cell phone calling someone already. She's like, I know who to call.
Jake from State Farm. Get the
That's a
insurance
fact.
guy
That's
here.
who it
He's gotta
was.
be
Yep.
committed.
And she just said, Jake, can you come on over and help with our reality check? I mean, there wasn't even time to divide and conquer. She just took it on herself. But Zig is a great communicator. That is one of her best characteristics. I mean, she's the picture of communication. She is an English teacher, right? We all know to go to her with our English questions, grammar help, writing help. But
You got to be careful because, like Mr. Bohan alluded to earlier, sometimes, like I'll specifically one time remember sending her something, and I said, "Hey Zig, not for grammar, just for content." I specifically said that, and I get it back. There's red all over it. I'm just like, really, Zig? So you gotta be careful because you're gonna get it corrected completely always. That's just how Zig does stuff. What we also have discovered is that since Zig has retired or been done at community, she is even more of a communicator. So often, frequently, this could include an occasional butt dial.
oh yeah, there's butt dials.
Or if she calls one of us, she might call me to talk about something, but I'm busy. I am working, by the way. And so I might be busy and not answer.
Then she calls me.
And if you don't answer,
Then she calls Bohan.
and he doesn't answer,
Then she calls Lizette.
she will call until she gets an answer. And we love it. So she is a communicator. And we've learned this through communicating with each other that, yeah, it just keeps on going.
Her persistence definitely pays off. There was another example, Marilyn. On that recent project we did together involving our trip to Fargo for the film festival, Zig was away from school at the time. We met about a week before the event through Zoom, planned everything out, You know, our list to be done, our divide and conquer. And then the calls started coming.
Who's driving? Who's riding in what car? How many students are going? Did they get their permission slips in? This is like 2 hours after we had talked. And Sherry and I are like, not yet. We're getting them. We'll do it, Zeke. We got this. But it's Zig time. And we love it because she's persistent and keeps us on our toes and keeps us accountable.
Absolutely.
Many of you might know also that Zig is a prayer warrior. She truly is. After all, not everyone has their retirement party in a church, but here we are, and it's awesome. But we've met Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 a.m. The three of us just kind of have done that for the last 3 years.
Notice Marilyn said 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, that's
Keep
critical.
that in mind. Keep that in mind.
So in person, then through the pandemic over Zoom, and even continued now that she is done at Community.
But it never fails.
Nope.
Every Tuesday, Thursday morning, about 7:26 a.m., maybe 7:29, we get a text that says, "Am I on? I'm on."
Do I have the
am
right
I the
link?
right link?
Yep,
Yeah.
you are. As we both roll our eyes and say to ourselves, "It's not 7:30 yet." We've learned that that's just Zig's way of holding us accountable. So we typically chuckle and move along. Or one more example, it's not unusual for Sherry and I to receive a text at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., just to let us know she won't be at prayer because she needs to rest. And then 5:30 a.m., another text comes in, "I'm gonna be there." And we're like, okay, sounds great.
Seriously,
Such
Zig,
a communicator.
we love you. We'll miss you greatly. You are truly a one-of-a-kind teacher, coworker, prayer warrior, and friend. Therefore, today, we'd like to give you a special award.
Well, the ideas won't stop, so.
No, we know that.
It's the sash.
This is a beautiful sash.
Miss Charger Superstar.
Oh, you know, I know a girl.
Oh,
It's funny.
that's pretty funny.
What a wonderful parody that was, huh, Zig? Othering, remember othering. Okay. Next on our agenda this afternoon, we have more of a Nobel Prize Award style presentation, a little bit more formal presentation by two renowned public school educators from the renowned High School of Community High School in Grand Forks, North Dakota, presenting an award to Mrs. Zigerlicki. Now taking the stage, Mrs. Kelly Ensel and Mrs. Emily Johnson.
And tiny Margot Hensel. All right. Here. Eileen has impacted the lives of hundreds of students over the last 19 years. Students and staff alike are better people because of her. This spring, the community high school staff nominated Eileen for the 2022 NDL Educator of the Year Award, and she won it. On May 17th, we found out that Eileen was chosen for this high honor, and we are so grateful to call her our colleague and friend. Here's a little about what we said about Eileen. Eileen Zigerlicki is the model of professionalism. She mentors new teachers and has been an active member of various organizations in our community and state. She also serves as a co-lead at School for Sources of Strength, a peer leader group focusing on suicide awareness and mental health. Eileen's involvement in the Sources of Strength program not only helps students now, but sets them up with skills to succeed for their future. Because of her, students make progress down another road to success.
Eileen Zigerlicki is an educator through and through. In her 19 years at Community High School, Eileen's colleagues know her as a woman who does not waver. She follows her convictions and sticks to them. In those convictions, she always does what is best for her students, even when hard conversations and truths are necessary. She never shies away from speaking truth to her colleagues and students, and through these truths, she's able to empower her students and colleagues to feel pride in their own abilities. She's intelligent, sarcastic, and funny. These qualities just scratch the surface of how she's influenced countless lives. When students reflect on their time in high school, there are teachers who stand out. Eileen Zigerlicki stands out.
Thank you, Mrs. Johnson and Mrs. Ensel. We are now going to transition to more of a, Zig, keep working with me here, more of a hip coffee shop style poetry reading event. For many years, Eileen has sponsored different types of events at Community High School. One of our more popular ones in the past 10 years has been a poet named Joe Davis, who's been in our school 3 different times now, and boy is he cool. He is just such a fantastic poet, and so we thought poetry might be a really good part to Zig's event this afternoon. And presenting this poem are 2 very popular, trending women, Lizette Miller and Emily Johnson.
We prefer the snapping
Yeah,
of fingers.
it's- that's
Thank you.
way more,
That's it.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, I guess we're here to.
Yeah,
bring
have you
home,
heard
right?
about this new award?
I have, I heard
It's like the thing, right? It's like of 2022. It's really important and
Yes.
very, very now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, all right, should I start?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll start.
Go.
This is called The Star Polisher by Leah Bex. I have a great job in the universe of occupations. What do? I'm a star polisher. It's a very important job. If you want to know how important, just go out at night and look at the stars twinkling and sparkling. You see, I am a teacher. The stars are the children in my class. My job is to take them in whatever shape they come, and shine them and buff them, and then send them out to take their place as bright little twinkling beacons in the sky.
They come into my room in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes they're bent, tarnished, dirty, crinkly, and broken. Some stars are cuddly, soft, and sweet. Some stars are prickly and thorny. As I buff, polish, train, and teach my little stars, I tell them that the world cannot do without them. I tell them they can do anything they set their minds to. I tell them they can be the brightest, shiniest stars in the sky, and that the world will be a better place because of them. Each night as I look at the sky, I'm reminded of my very important job and awesome responsibility. I go and get my soft buffing cloth and my little bottle of polish in preparation for tomorrow and for my class of little stars. So now we have our
Award. I want to make sure I don't touch it too much.
You're the star polisher.
Oh, man.
It's heavy.
Yeah. Make sure you don't tell me. You guys find it.
Thank you.
Online.
Sweet.
Very cool.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, this is of course.
Zig is a star polisher. One more type of parody today, Mrs. Zigerlicki, is kind of a blast from the past. Now, I don't know if that's a type of show, but we did get a hold of a few people, a couple in particular, that we think you will really enjoy hearing from. Unfortunately, they weren't able to be physically present, but with the magic of technology and Mrs. Jurdy's angel dust, wherever she is, there she is, thank you. We have a couple of visitors that would like to say hello to you from a distance. Take it away, Mrs. Jurdy.
Oh my
Cheers.
gosh.
So, what do I do for my friend Eileen? Let's see. I'll write a poem for her. All right, y'all ready? It's titled, My Dear Eileen. My North Dakota twin, a friend till the end. My October the 8th, a person of great faith. My editor of grammar, spelling, and tone, one who leaves no unturned stone. The seeds you have sown are beyond measure. Community, past and present, agree you are a treasure. Oh, I forgot my prop. Give me one. Treasure. The ivory to my beautiful ebony. Knowing you has been heavenly. Congratulations, Eileen, and good luck to you on all your future endeavors. With love, Tisha.
Hi, I sure wish I could be there today to help celebrate you, your years at community, and your dedication to the students, not only at community, but throughout the district. You always went to bat for our students who needed a supporter. You went above and beyond what was required in our contracts. You were always updating and improving your classes to better serve and interest your students, creating new classes, making adjustments that fit the learning styles of your students. Your love of books, like starting in book clubs in the school, getting books for the entire student body. You wrote the grants, you got the books for us. As a teacher, you were always prepared, fair, and when needed, tough. I'll always remember when you and Max went out and bought winter coat and gloves for a student that came to our school that had come from another country and didn't have any winter gear. I also remember the amount of work you did whenever anything needed to be done in community. Often you were the one that volunteered first if there was a party to put on, an activity to do, any kind of function we had to do. You always stepped up and did your share and more. And believe me, they will miss you a lot, not being in community and doing those activities. Hi, I sure wish I could.
And so, this is an opportunity if any others would like to take a moment in kind of a open mic style to recognize Mrs. Zigerlicki for her accomplishments or her contributions. I will have the microphone here. We are certainly willing to pass it around to whomever may like to share a message or two.
I got you.
I know that Kerper's ready. All right, Kerper's going to take it away. Take it away, Kerper Pay.
Okay, I haven't gave a speech since graduation. I'll stand up today. Hey, Ms. Zig.
Hey.
See, I'm gonna start off. Before I came to community, I was the so-called trouble kid. The kid with anger issues, quick temper. Actually got kicked out of school first semester, freshman year. I was wild. But yeah, before I came to community, I was kind of hopeless. I didn't really know where I was going in life. I didn't really see myself doing the stuff I was doing today. But then when I came to community, I kind of got my hope back, kind of got my mind back in the right place, and put me back on track. One thing that Ms. Zerda did mention, that Ms. Zig did, she actually made me start reading books. I never thought I would be like a book reader, but then started reading books. And then that kind of sharpened my mind, kind of opened up to a whole bunch of stuff. So I always give you the credit for that. But yeah, back to me like catching hope in myself. If it wasn't for Ms. Zig and somebody who I consider my godfather, Mr. Bohan, giving me guidance here, I wouldn't be the man who I am today. You teach me how to read books at 19. I was able to become like one of the youngest Scrum Masters in the world. 20, became a data center engineer. And then 21, became a stockbroker. So that's a lot. And I never seen myself doing that if it wasn't for you guys actually believing in me and helping me be the man I am today. That's why I made sure to come in today. I told my job I was sick, but I had to find a way to come here. But yeah, I had to come and give you your flowers. So, the man who I am today, I wouldn't be here without you. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Godfrey has a few words for Mrs. Zigerlicki. Pastor Paul, is it okay to walk the microphone over there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to squeak on anybody.
And then bring it up front.
I don't know how long I'll last here. I've got a voice problem also. Eileen, you haven't surprised me one bit. I had the privilege of hiring you. I knew the day that you were hired that you would be nothing but great for our school, for our students. And I could tell by the little skit that was put on, you haven't changed a bit. I remember some of those meetings, ladies, with Eileen, and we just kind of start out the meeting that, yeah, you would like to do this, like to do that, and it wasn't like to, I'm gonna. So, one thing I admired about you was you were always looking out for our students. And every idea you came up with was for the students. And you didn't usually you wanted to sneak out of receiving any credit for whatever we were doing. But the ladies brought back a lot of memories, of talks and how things should be and shouldn't be. But I'm so happy to hear that you were able to retire and go on. But I know you're going to have your fingers in the school someplace with the students. And I just want you to know that as an administrator, you have to hire people, and you have to interview, and you gotta always say if you don't ask the right question, you're not gonna get the right answer. If you don't ask the question that you want to get an answer for, don't expect to come up with it. But I had, during your interview, I was thinking of how ways I was gonna get you full-time, how ways I wasn't gonna let one of the other schools jump in and take you. I wanted you to be a teacher at our school, and I'm so happy that we hired you. There have been many other teachers, some of them are here, that I also had the same feeling, just kind of knew when the person you were interviewing was right for our school. And you were right for our school. Thank you. Thank you for your work.
Thank you, Mr. Godfrey. Take it away.
I'll go really quick. Hi, Eileen. My name's Amelia. I'm with the foundation. And how I met Eileen. When I first started working at the foundation, we get grants through the public schools. And I always knew about a month, 6 weeks, maybe before the grant deadline, I was gonna get a phone call. Your name would pop up on my phone, and it would start with, I have an idea. And I guess we understood the assignment, because I don't think we ever said no either. I think we funded just about any one of the grants that you supplied. And there was a reason why. They were so extremely collaborative and forward-thinking and something different than that we were seeing from other grant applications. So I always thoroughly enjoy being your sounding board and hearing your ideas and helping you in any small way, the foundation, helping you bring those to fruition. So on behalf of the foundation and our board, thank you so much for your service.
Dr. Love.
Eric, I'm from the school board. Eileen, I've actually been around longer than you. I've been on the school board since 2000. And one of the reasons I kept on the school board is because of people like you. And we have teachers in the room, and we have a lot of teachers. There are teachers, and then there are teachers up at the top. And you're one of those. You've been unbelievable through the years. I hear so many great stories about you. I don't think I can say anything more than what other people have said. I have one job on the school board next year, and that's to come up with enough money to hire 4 people that it's going to take to replace you. So, congratulations on your time.
Pastor Paul. Okay, I didn't have a speech ready, but you guys like resonated all kinds of butt dials. Are you kidding me? Every day, right? During meeting, I get butt dials from Eileen and text messages during church while I'm preaching, right? And, she is constantly communicating. The whole thing. By the way, she'll call Bonnie, and Bonnie doesn't answer. Sometimes when the phone's right next to her. Oh, I'm telling you that now, Eileen, because sometimes the phone's right there and Bonnie still doesn't answer. She's assuming it's a butt dial. But then I get the call. And she's even called our dog. No, it doesn't have a cell phone. A couple other things about Eileen. She doesn't know this, she doesn't realize this, but some of the staff at our church are intimidated by her. And I said to her one time, you know, some people, like when you walk in a room and you ask a question like, why did you do that? They feel intimidated, and sometimes they need to, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, no, she's really sweet inside. You just gotta get to know her. She's asking honest questions. And then I'll sit at a board meeting, she'll ask me a question like, why did you do that? And I know her pretty well. We've been good friends, and I get intimidated. And I'm thinking, okay, she doesn't mean that like trying to get some information on me that I don't want to give, but I end up giving information I don't want to give just because she's asked it. And so Eileen has this amazing ability to get you to say things. And persistence, yeah. Some people call it stubbornness. Some people call it bulldogishness. Some people call it tenacious. Some people call it a pain in the rear end. So like when you're at a board meeting, again, you guys all know this, and she commits to a project to do with me. 6:30 in the morning, 6:15 in the morning, did you get a chance to get after that? I said, well, we left the meeting last night at 10. And she goes, well, I've got my project done. Do you need help with yours? And I'm like, Eileen, some people actually sleep from 4 to 6. And then the war on literature, I've never understood that. Chris Zigerlich, Eileen's husband, will call me and say, Eileen's doing the war on literature again. I'm like, what is that all about? And so
Ford literature.
Ford literature. You've never said that, Chris. You think with all of Eileen's communication abilities, you could have convinced your husband that it's the war for literature. You want people to read.
Right.
Oh, okay. So there you go. I've misunderstood that. Friendship. Deep and long and real. I appreciate that about you, Abby. Couple other quick things. Like I've grown to love community. I didn't know a thing about community. school. I didn't, to be honest, no offense, I didn't know you all existed 7 or 8 years ago. And our church has been involved with the community and care about what's going on. I went over to one of the neighborhood kids' house yesterday with Bonnie. I gave her a graduation card from community. And she's a good kid, but she needed this school so much. And I love that idea of being a star polisher. In Matthew, it says, let your light shine, so that people will see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. I know about you, Eileen, that your light does shine, and you're not seeking self-glory, but you want to point to Jesus and your Father in heaven. In the book of Daniel, it says, those who are wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. I hadn't heard the term before, but you are a star polisher. I run into kids all the time, or adults all the time, who in conversations with them will say they spent high school with you all. And every once in a while, more often than not, I'll mention Mrs. Zig. Oh yeah, she's scary good. She made me read. She terrified me. She cared about me. And every once in a while, someone's she prays for me. So thank you for what God has put in you and letting it shine.
Mrs. Rindt, take it away.
My name's Lee, I'm Graham. For those of you that don't know me, I worked at Community for 7 of the best years I spent in education. And I was among those that felt very intimidated by Eileen when I first met her. But she proved to be one of the most creative, dedicated, the best heart of anybody I have known. And I have to say something because our mutual friend to most of us, Max Larry, was a mentor and a good friend to Eileen. And during my years there, Max came up with many grand ideas. Eileen would write a grant, and then I was lucky enough in my classroom to get to implement them. And it was tremendous. It was. So thank you, Eileen, for all of for everything you've done. You're greatly loved and appreciated.
Okay, Ms. Zig, this comes from a student. This comes from Starla. And I just realized when I walked up here I didn't have my glasses on. Okay, let me, just I put it here.
You have to come to the
Okay,
security.
there we go. Oh, good. Okay, here we go. Now I can read it. Miss Zig, I wrote this because I wanted you to hear this even when I couldn't be there to read it to you. I know it's only been less than a year that you have been my teacher, but you showed me how much you show the definition of what a teacher is. I've met many English teachers in the past who couldn't offer the help that you gave me. You made it known that I could do anything I set my mind to, even if it's difficult. I couldn't be more thankful to have you for the short period of time that I did, because now I'm going to finish this English without you, but really with you, because you are my motivation whenever times get tough. Thank you for everything you have done for not only me, but the whole school, and all the effort you put in the school to help us for our future, for our life memories that we will have forever. Your former student, Starla.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Miss Allen, my name is Mawa Ma. I'm Kapo's mother. And I'm so happy to meet you. Mr. Bohan, I've been to my house so many times. To my apartment so many times. I'm from a country that teachers are like God, that we don't talk back to them. That when they say bend, you bend. They say stand, you stand. But being a teacher in this country is a job. Very, very hard job. Especially when you get people like my son. But it takes somebody to change somebody. When I felt discouraged when they put Kappa out of the school that he was going to, because some kids were making fun of him and he reported and nobody ever said something. We come home crying to me, banging door, running outside. And one day he just marched in the classroom and just slapped the student. And they put him out. I didn't know what to do. And he came to community. And for every disappointment, there's always blessing. God does something for a reason. I don't know what happened. Kappa changed out of a second. He went 360. He like somebody different. He would read, he sit down, he think about his future, what he wants to do, and I was just shocked. For everything that he's doing, he does it on his own. Nobody tells him, Kappa, do this. Kappa would sit down and read and say, I'm doing this, and that's what he would do. He would tell me, I would take that test. I said, Kappa, how you would take the test? The test is for college students. He said, Mommy, you wouldn't read a book. When you read a book, you will understand what it is, and I will do it. And he does it. And I give the credit to the school that he graduated from, Central. That made a community. Thank you. Your little John Bentley is beautiful, wonderful, outstanding job. Always be at peace with yourself. You're doing a very good job. You guys are very good teachers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eileen Zigerlicki is a star polisher. She always has been, she always will be. It has been a privilege working with her for the past 19 years at Community. We are grateful for her service, and as a school, we want to just recognize your accomplishments. You are an outstanding educator, Eileen Zigerlicki, and thank you for sharing your talents with us. How about one more round of applause from Mrs. Zigerlicki?